So here's your first look at a real and fake pair of the Nike Air Jordan 3 J Balvin. Can you tell any difference between these two? Hopefully this video helps you. So here we have a real and fake pair of the Nike Air Jordan 3 J Balvin Sunset Medellin. And this video is to help you point out the differences between a real and fake and what to look for if you're trying to purchase a real one. So this is the real one here and this is the fake one here, and we'll get straight into the comparison. And obviously you can see the first difference straight away. So the retail one actually comes with a cover slip over the box. As you can see, I'm taking it off here. So this comes with the retail pair over the box. And now we'll compare the boxes side by side. So if I hold these both up to the camera, you'll be able to see a clear color difference between the two in terms of the area around the smiley face. You can clearly see there's a clear color difference between the two, with the retail one here being a lot more yellow compared to the fake one being a lot more pinky orange. You can see the color difference is really obvious. And if we take a closer look at the text, we can see differences here as well. So from the close-up, you can see the text is actually a different color from retail to fake, with actually being a darker, bolder color on the fake one compared to the retail one. It actually looks like the fake text has an outline around the text. Compared to the retail one, you can see it doesn't have this black outline. And also the colors on top is a lot paler. So these are key differences you're going to have to look out for if you are authenticating your pair, and it's really easy to tell straight away from the box. But let's take a closer look at the labels now. So if we take a closer look at the label, you'll see on the barcode of the fake one, it does have the factory stamp, so you can see it's clearly marked there, which is a telltale sign that you should look for straight away. Also, if you look at the actual sizing, so you'll see these are a US 10. You can see that that 10 is much thicker on the fake one, and a little bit squashed compared to the retail pair. In terms of the color text, you can see that this text is actually slightly larger on the retail one, and there are minor differences like this all over the label. So I'll just pause it on the screenshot that I had and take a closer look at yours and make sure it matches up to the retail pair. But nobody really wants me to talk about the boxes for the entire video, so I guess we'll just open them up, take a look at the shoes. So shall we open the retail or the fake first? Let's open up the fake one. So you can see it comes with a paper overlaying the shoes, which is pretty good. Here's the retail one. The shoes, once again, are covered by the paper. If we take a close look at the paper, and I'll give you a close up of this, you can see differences here. So I can actually show you this straight to the camera, but the colors don't match on the paper. So if I hold these up here, you can see the colors are much more dull and black and dark on the fake one compared to the retail one, where it goes from like a purple to a pink, whereas on the fake one, it goes from like a gray black to a slight pink, but it gradually goes further, but the colors aren't correct. So we'll move these to the side and take a closer look at the shoes. So here are the two pairs, and first glance, can you spot any differences between the two? Let's break down some of the details. So the first noticeable difference between the two, and I can't really show you this on camera, is the fake one stinks of glue. The glue smell in my room now is so strong, and as soon as I open the box, it's really bad. And the retail one really doesn't smell bad at all. It's just so strong coming from this side. The next obvious difference is on the fake one, they do have the hang tag attached to the right shoe, as you can see here. Whereas on the retail one, you can see it's actually attached to the left shoe. So there's a clear difference that it's attached to the wrong shoe. I guess somebody could switch it, but just as it's dead stock coming straight out of the box, you should note which one it comes to because it's quite an obvious difference. So let's spin the shoes to the back and take a look at the next difference. So on the retail one here, you'll see it does actually come with this cardboard insert here, which protects the back tab from rubbing against the material here. The fake one obviously didn't go into this much detail and did not do this, so this actually rubs against this in certain places, but it's just something to note. Obviously it comes out, but it's just when it's packaged in dead stock, just look out for this little bit of cardboard at the back because it should be there. So one of the most noticeable features on this shoe is the color of the heel and the transition between the three colors. So here you can see the retail one where it goes from yellow to this kind of orange sunset to this purple down here. If I show you the fake one, the colors aren't quite the same. So as you can see, hold it at the same angle, the yellow is barely there, this orange section is far too big, and so is the purple section. So I'll show you side by side here, and as you can see, the color difference and the transitional sense is very different from the retail one to the fake one. So just take a closer look at this. This is actually really easy to see at the back of the shoe, and we'll take a look at the transition. So here's the retail one here. You can see it's pretty much, the heel is pretty much all yellow. You can barely see any of the orange tab. Whereas if you look at this part here, you can see the corners of the orange part are showing through, which is a telltale sign. So we'll look at the colors once again, but this time at the back part of the shoe. So as you can see here with the transitioning colors once again, and if I hold up the fake one next to it, you can see that the transitioning colors is very different. And I would say it's actually much brighter on the retail one compared to the fake one. The fake one just looks very dull and the colors aren't very vibrant, and it just takes up most of the section in that dark purple color again, so it just doesn't match that of the retail pair. Spinning the shoes upside down, we'll take a closer look at the tread on the bottom, and you'll actually see there's a clear color difference as I hold it up to the camera. So the retail one here, you can see has a crispy kind of white outsole compared to the fake one, which looks a little bit used and dirty. It has an almost peachy look to it, so it's slightly used. However, I can promise you these are both dead stock, so they should be the same color. But as you can see here, they're clearly not. The next difference I'm going to point out is the stitching on the outer side panel of the shoe. It's quite hard to see, so I'll give you a close up for this. So as you can see on the fake one, on the outside, the stitching comes down and cuts into that material going along the side. Whereas if you look at the retail pair, you can see this same stitching goes down the side, but doesn't touch that material, doesn't cut through it at any point and doesn't touch it. So it's a very obvious difference between the two, and it's because the materials are slightly different cuts. So the shaping of them is very different when you actually look from the side. But this is something you should look for if you have a pair in hand, because it's really obvious and easy to see that stitching line here, where it comes down, and if it's behind this panel here. Really obvious difference between the two pairs, and something you should look for. Another key difference between the two pairs is actually the material used. So this material here, this white creamy leather, is actually a different quality on the retail to fake. So if I give you a close up of this, you'll see on the inside, it actually looks like the fake one's done a replica of a tumbled leather, but they've over tumbled it. So it's very creased and looks very artificial. Whereas you'll see on the retail one, the creases look very natural and actually fit with the leather, compared to the fake one where it just looks artificially creased, which doesn't look as good. On the outer side of this shoe, on the top 3 lace holes, you'll see it is actually on this kind of nubuck suede material. If I give you a close-up of this, you can see a difference in the stitching here. So from the close-up, you can actually see that this nubuck suede is a different color between the two pairs, with it being slightly more tan on the retail one compared to the gray color on the fake one. But if you look at the stitching over the top, you'll see that the stitching isn't quite as consistent as it is on the retail one. On the retail one, you can see the stitching is consistent all the way down and very well spaced. Compared to the fake one, you can see it's spaced much wider apart and it gets a little bit messy at the top corner. This is an obvious difference and really easy to spot straight away, and it actually might be one of my go-to things to look for straight off the bat. A noticeable part of this shoe is obviously the toe box material and that pattern going all the way around the edge here. If I compare this side by side and you look at the retail to fake, you'll see that the dark parts of this pattern are much darker on the fake one and much more obvious compared to the retail one. So they haven't got this correct and it's really obvious to spot. But actually, I have noticed that this happens on some retail pairs where it's a slightly darker marking. It's just something to point out between the fake and retail pair that I have in hand here, but it does actually occur on retail one, so I wouldn't look too closely at this because it is a QC error that's well known. If we spin the shoe around to the back again and we take a look at the heel of both pairs here, if I point out the retail one here, you'll see that this part curves very naturally all the way around. However, if I show you the fake one here, you'll see it's actually slightly more flat at the bottom. So it goes almost like a U, but a flat down and then back up here. So if I compare them side by side, you should be able to see the clear difference in the shape of the back here, with the fake one being a lot more flat along the bottom compared to the retail one. This is an obvious difference between the two once again. And if you're paying really close attention, if you take a look at the stitching going along the top, that pink color, you'll actually see it's a different color from the retail to fake, which is noticeable, with the fake one being a slightly lighter pink compared to the retail one. So I'm not going to show you the left shoe because there would be absolutely no point, and the same differences that occur on the right one actually occur on the left one as well. But the main 3 things that I would look for straight away is obviously the transitional color on this part and the back tab here. Then I would look at that suede material color here and the stitching going across that. And the third thing I'd look for is obviously the tread on the bottom, just to make sure it's the right color. If it's not a dead stock pair, I would look for the shape of this part going all the way around here. Make sure it's slightly curved and not too flat along the bottom here. But hopefully this video has helped you if you are trying to authenticate your pair and purchase a retail one, because this pair is stunning. I really do like it, and it will be perfect in summer next year. But let me know down below in the comments if you've got a pair or are trying to buy a pair, because it's stunning. And if you've spotted any more differences between the fake one and the retail one here, please comment them down below so you can help other people. Please like, subscribe, helps me grow the channel, helps me do more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an amazing day.